Welcome back to the Wasteland with Jolene, the Plunder Queen. Last time we cleared out the Corvega assembly plant with extreme prejudice and lots of screaming. Explosives, mayhem, the works. Now we have a bit of running around to do. I have a plan for Jolene, and we have a few items and settlements that we're going to need to really kick things into gear. To start with, we spend our level up to increase our agility. We're going to need to sink points into this as we go, since there's a few perks we're going to want to pick up further down the tree. We also make some good use of the key we found last episode, and crack open a wicked shipping container that we find on the road for some loot. We stop by Starlight Drive-In to drop off our equipment, where we get a quest from a wandering Eyebot to apply for a job at the Cambridge Polymer Labs. We grab some steaks from some nearby Brahmin, grab ourselves a sleep and a save. We then head a little northeast and have ourselves a nice little tussle with some ferals while we're scavenging for materials. After we Molotov a few of them, Dog Meat decides that he has absolutely had enough of their shit and ends the fight for us. We find a nice little stash from the railroad in one of the cars. We haven't met them yet, but we plunder it for the glory of ourselves. We find a few more ghouls at the station and laugh maniacally as we watch them burn. We head a little north and encounter our first rad scorpion. Way more shotgun shells than I would have liked it to take later, and we can head on our way up the hill to turn in our quest at 10 Pines Bluff. Once they've seen fit to join the glory of our wasteland empire, we realize that there is an armor merchant in camp. We take the opportunity to do a little trading and get some upgraded gear, including a unique piece of armor, the Champion Arm, which gives us a +1 bonus to both strength and endurance. This is going to improve our hit points and our carrying capacity, both things that we could use a lot more of in this game mode. After checking out our new duds, we grab one of the settlers, give him some equipment, and send him off to maintain a supply line to the Red Rocket truck stop. I think this is a good point to mention. As we move further and further into the wasteland of Boston, it's going to get more and more important to outfit the settlers that we use for our supply lines. They can run into trouble based on the areas that they have to travel through. Since the further south on the map we are tends to give us more and more dangerous enemies to face, we're going to need to start thinking of ways to stay in high-end equipment in the future. We wrap up at 10 Pines by setting up their resources and defenses, then start the trek back to Sanctuary. On the way, we bump into Sully Mathis at a quarry, and we agree to help him repair the water pump. A quick dip in the radioactive waters, and we're clear to start the pump back up. Unfortunately, this wakes up a couple of Mirelurks that we proceed to terminate post-haste. Once everything's set back up, and once we've gotten through our experience with the Mirelurks, Jolene hates crabs thanks to a bad experience in college, and no, she won't elaborate. We collect our reward and continue on to Sanctuary to turn in the Corvega quest to Preston Garvey. He declares us General of the Minutemen, which leaves me with just one question.
So, if I'm a general, where's my army?
You're looking at it, I'm afraid.
God damn it, Preston, you had one job. We start upgrading our water purifiers at Sanctuary before some gunshots in the distance distract us, and we run off to investigate the commotion coming from Red Rocket. There turns out to be gunners. Lots and lots of gunners. The Gunners are a wasteland mercenary company that are much better armed and armored than raiders, and despite our best efforts and copious quantities of many different foods and drugs, we get taken down. Once again, I prove my stubborn refusal to learn any lesson from all the places with beds we've passed through, and we wake up back at the Starlight Drive-In. Through the magic of time travel, we run our route once more and return to Preston Garvey. This time, no gunners attack, and we're free to begin sprucing up Sanctuary Hills. We improve our water production, set up some corn and mute fruits to start growing with our potatoes so that we can eventually start crafting adhesive by making vegetable starch out of the 3 produce pieces, and we do a little bit of decorating for some free bonus XP. We do enough crafting to earn a level up, and we spend it on the second rank of the local leader perk, allowing us to make shops in our settlements. These shops will both earn caps over time that get deposited into the settlement's workbench, and allow us to have access to more traders by assigning settlers to work the stores. We build a general goods store so that if we're missing any specific materials next time we come back to do some crafting, we can hopefully just pick them up without having to hunt around. Then we get into the spirit of the spooky season by throwing some Halloween themed paint jobs on our gear, and then send Preston to the Starlight Drive-In so that he's closer to what we're going to make our new base of operations. Once more, we drop a quick save and head out. Our goal is south. So we run down to the Starlight Drive-In for a quick save so we don't have to repeat the distance if the worst happens, and then head to the outskirts of Lexington to find the Mystic Pines retirement home. There's almost nothing here, but there is a copy of Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor for us to pick up. This gives us better prices with all merchants in the future. We continue on our way, heading to Cambridge, where we hear the sounds of a heated firefight coming from our goal, the Cambridge Police Station. Our newly upgraded arsenal all prepped, we run headfirst to help the beleaguered paladin dance, and are taught a fine lesson on why you should fear the irradiated undead. With our first death of this under our belt, we set out from Sunshine Tidings once more, not forgetting our copy of Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor. This time, we approach with a little more finesse. We take the high ground, abuse it judiciously, and allow Dance to tank the majority of the ghouls like the burnished, gleaming god of war he is. We follow up by applying shotgun shells to the forehead of any ghoul that gets past our guardian angel, and along with a few emergency war drugs, we finally clear them all out. A quick conversation with our new buddy, and we decide to help them out with their issues. We head inside to loot what we can find while Dance changes his makeup for a big night out, and then head back out into the wasteland with him to go to ArcJet Systems, completely ignoring the beds in the station. Bet you can't see where this is going. On our way, we spot a pile of raiders set up under the bridge, so some long-distance sniper shots and Dance's can-do attitude clear them out and get us a nice pile of loot. We head up to ArcJet Systems and scavenge our way through to a locked room. We use the terminals to open the door for Dance and encounter our first synths. We clear them out with some excessive firepower and let Dance lead us into the next room. In the midst of our gung-ho firefight, we catch a few stray bullets and wake up back at the Starlight Drive-In. So, once more from the top. Collect our issue of Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor, play Ghoul Exterminator, loot the police station, and then save. Uno reverse the ambush under the bridge. Spend a level up on rank 2 of armor, since our squishiness is really starting to scare me. And then play Ding Dong Doom with some synths. The firefight goes much smoother this time as we take pot shots while allowing Dance to just tank everything. We, by which I mean Paladin Dance as we watch from a safe distance, clear our way down to the ArcJet testing labs, where we are ambushed by an ungodly amount of synths. Dance demands that we do something, anything, so we comply and hit a big red button and start cooking. Fortunately for Dance, he proves he's a literal god and tanks a damned rocket engine to the face. Bullshit, Dance, no armor on the planet was saving you from that. We head upstairs to the final room, which I clear out with copious quantities of grenades, and then we walk through picking off the limping survivors. No, seriously, look at him. He is literally broken. Death is my mercy. With our mission accomplished, we head outside, get some backhanded compliments from Dance, and most importantly, get the Righteous Authority, an aptly named weapon for our Wasteland Queen, since she'll be using it to enforce her rule a lot. While we are not by any means a VATS or critical based build, being able to improve what little use of VATS we do have and getting a little more bang for our buck out of all the fusion cells that we just collected from clearing out these synths is going to go a long way. At this point, I have decided I have a few small stops to make and things to collect to move us out of our early game and into the beginning of our mid game. To get that ball rolling, we head west to Sunshine Tidings Co-op, a fairly unremarkable settlement up for grabs on the western edge of the map. Unremarkable, that is, except for a copy of the Wasteland Survival Guide with a unique bonus. Now that we've claimed it, we get double the meat from killing all animals. Not only is this going to help with keeping us fed in survival mode, but it's going to give us a respectable amount of experience from the additional crafting that we will do with it over the course of the game. We claim the settlement, do a little bit of weapon upgrading, and then save before setting off for our final destination, Diamond City. On the way, we're going to claim our most important settlement yet, Hangman's Alley. We stop off to grab some power armor to bring into central Boston, and we use it and our new weapons to excellent effect, clearing out the raiders occupying the wreck of the USS Riptide. With that speed bump out of the way, we finally make our way into downtown Boston and our goal, the alley. We savor the time we spend clearing it out, as this is going to be our base for the next little while. With fast travel being disabled in survival mode and Hangman's Alley being so central to so many parts of Boston that we'll be traveling back and forth through, we decide that this place could use a little bit of TLC. In order to help with that, we're going to head next door to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City. We throw on our Sunday finest to help everyone's favorite nosy newsy, Piper, through the front gate, and we head inside to see what there is to see. This is where we're going to wrap up this episode. But I have a treat for you, so be sure to check out the next one that should be coming out right now, and we're going to take you on a tour of the kingdom. We're going to spend a little bit of time off camera collecting some resources and putting together all of our settlements. So until the next time the Wasteland brings us together again, take care and stay safe, and we'll be back again soon.